Hello everyone. So our topic for today is artificial sweeteners. Now you can see a lot of words written here. Everything will get connected. This board is enough for you to understand everything about this. Now artificial sweeteners, we see all of these different things around us that says no sugar or 0 calories from sugar, no artificial sugar, all those things. Okay. Now what are all those terms? Those are essentially can be clubbed into something we know as artificial sweeteners. Correct? Now, let's start from the start, how it all came into being. So, can you see a name here? Konstantin Fallberg. Now, this is the name of the chemist, scientist, whatever you want to call him. So, basically, this guy was working in some chemical lab. Now, because of that, he got something in his hand. Then he came home and then her wife was making or baking bread for him. Correct? So he touched some part of the dough or something. When the breads came out, it came out to be very sweet. He asked that, have you added some sugar or anything like this? And she denied. Then he tried to find out why the bread suddenly became sweet. So actually, he was working in the lab and he was touching a compound called benzosulfamide. Now, this compound is the first thing that came to his mind that this sweetness might be because of this compound. Now, you know what is this compound? The common name that you have now of this compound is called saccharin. So saccharin is what he was touching and that gave it the sweetness. Saccharin you must have heard. Now there started a debate that is this a very healthy thing or not so healthy. Okay, so basically many researchers went on this, they tested on rats and everything and they found that it can cause certain kinds of cancer in rats. Okay, so some countries banned it, some allowed it. It went on for a few years. Then, in the 20th century itself, it got clear that saccharin is safe for humans, and whatever cancer was being caused in it, that was in rats. Now, similar systems humans don't have, so it is safe for us. Now, when I say safe for us, it always have a limit to it. Correct? If you just keep on consuming turmeric, that also can become a major issue in you. Correct? So here comes another term that we know as, this is the dietary intake. This is the maximum amount that you can take of these. So for example, if I were to tell you about saccharin, so it is around 5 mg per kg of your weight. Correct? So now you don't need that much anyway. Hardly 10-20 mg will be enough for a normal person who eats normal sweetness and normal sweet things in a day. Okay, so this is the limit that we have for saccharin as a sweetener. Now after this, of course, the researchers went on and they tried to find new compounds that can give sweetness without giving us the calories of sugar. Understood? So now you came to something known as non-caloric sugar substitute. That is, it does not have those many calories as the sugar has. In fact, it has very few calories. For example, here it is almost much more sweeter than sugar. For example, the saccharin will be like 100 times, 200 times sweeter than your normal sugar, and thus it is required in a very small quantity. Correct? So almost they become very low calorie or no calorie. We'll understand both of them. So this is non-caloric sugar substitute that we know as artificial sweetness. Now let's just understand first, before diving into all these names, what are these. First let's understand how these are really working. So working is very simple. See, you understand taste bud, correct? Taste buds you must have heard. Now buds here are what? So basically this is actually talking about receptors in your tongue. So basically your tongue has receptors that on which, so let's say this is a receptor. Now this is the space in it. Now just in this space, the sugar molecules, the normal table sugar, the white sugar, the sugar molecule will get here and will get attached here. Now Once it gets attached here, the receptor gets activated. This receptor sends a signal to your brain telling that I am feeling sweet. Okay, so then you start feeling sweet, something sweet you have tasted by your tongue. Correct? Now, why this has to be only a sugar molecule? If there is any other molecule that can get attached here and can activate your taste receptors or your taste buds, you will feel sweet. Correct? So basically you are tricking your body, your mind, to think that now it has been activated, so taste buds are activated, the sweet taste buds, and you are feeling that something sweet I have taken. Now because they are taken in such small quantities and they are of very low calories, so you are not taking in calories, so your intestine does not worry, but your tongue makes your brain feel that you have eaten something sweet. Understood? So very simply, this is the way taste buds or artificial sweetness work. Now I have written quite a few names here. Okay, it's if you are giving some exam, some kind of competitive exam, again these names become very important. They tend to ask this all the time. So now there are three categories actually. This is aspartame and saccharin. Aspartame is the very famous one that you find in most of these that you hear of, na, 0 calorie or 0 sugar ice creams and all that. Most of them have this. So aspartame and saccharin, these are completely artificial sweetness. Then there is sorbitol and xylitol. Now what is this? So this is sugar alcohols. Now they are not as sweet. So this is like 100 times, 200 times sweeter than your normal sugar. This is not as sweet, but this has a very similar taste to that of your sugar, and that is why these are also used in some of your drinks. Last is this monk fruit and stevia. This comes from natural plants, and that is why these are the new ones. These are much more considered, much more safer. Otherwise these are also safe in some quantity. These are even safer because they don't have any calories, almost 0 calories, and much more sweet than sugar. Also comes from natural, from, for example, this comes from stevia leaves. Okay, then now the last thing that I have written here, heat, taste, diabetes, weight loss. Where does this help? Which is affected by this? Now why don't we use it all around? Why don't we just replace every sugar by, let's say, aspartame? So there are certain issues with each of them. Issues, or they have some unique properties. For example, under heat, this aspartame won't work very well. It will break down. Then if you want to know about taste, so this stevia has a bitter taste. Okay, the sugar free and everything that you try to eat, the high quality ones, now they are made up of stevia. So once you eat them, you feel a bitter taste. That is stevia. So taste is here. Then if you are having diabetes, then it can work well. Why? Because instead of taking sugar, you can take this. Okay, there are researches still going on to find any kind of issues if they may exist. But right now, in limited quantity, under these ADI limits, it is considered very safe. Okay, and last is weight loss. See, weight loss, if you can replace by eating all, by removing all kinds of sugar, it is fine. Otherwise, you can use some artificial sweetness sometimes. It is not a pass to now eat everything just based on artificial sweetness. So this is it for this entire topic. Hope you understood and liked it. That's it. Thank you.